Well, cryptocurrency markets are at a critical level right now. Some very interesting charts to share with you today about what is going on. And of course, the buying from the suits never seems to stop. We have some updates on that for you as well. We got some meme coins and stuff like that as well. It's going to be a good time. Stick around till the second half of the video. Of course, when we're talking about your questions, what do you want to talk about? I'm curious to know as always. Let's get it. So, first and foremost, crypto markets remain in a state of fear. Of course, after last week, not surprised. And of course, we have a lot of cold coffee, man. We have a lot of cold coffee. No, we have a lot of trauma to unwind from the Japanese carry trade and all that other BS. Anyway, we'll see how things play out. Recession fears definitely still in the back of everyone's minds. We have all these negative things happening. Man, can we just let go of all this negativity? Just let the bull vibes back in. Be happy, everybody. Look, at the end of the day, these market turmoils, recessions, all that stuff's a regular part of the market cycle. The only question we have to ask and hopefully find some kind of answer to, which I don't have the answer. I don't think anybody really does. But when is the recession going to happen and how bad is it going to be? Now, I know we got the inverted yield curve, and we have the SAM rule, and we have all this other crap, but then other things still just kind of don't do bad. And we have manufacturing data this week. We have CPI coming in this week. Thanks, Poo Poo, for the reminder. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of big events this week. Not today, but tomorrow, the day after. We'll be keeping an eye on those events for you here, letting you know what's going on. If we see inflation come in at 2.9% instead of 3%, which is expected, market's going to like that. Market's going to like that for sure. Anyway, another day in the markets. Big buyers, though, coming in. Bitcoin miner Marathon raising $250 million to buy some more Bitcoin. They're not just mining it, they're also buying truckloads of it. I don't know if this is going to be to flip later on. It's a good idea. If not, why the heck not? But hey, great to see another big company buying huge amounts of coins. Fantastic. Also, by the way, just for the funds here, apparently Marathon is now going to mine, to stamp every block that they mine with made in the USA. America, man. America. Made this Bitcoin in America. That's hilarious. You do you, Marathon. That's great. That's great. Here's an Instagram from Eric Balkunis, ETF analyst over at Bloomberg. He said, I didn't realize US ETFs are on track to pass Satoshi Bitcoin held in October. BlackRock Roan is already number 3. Think about that. ETFs, just, they're basically at the point now where they are going to be more Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETFs than all the Satoshi Bitcoin, which is 1.1 million Bitcoin. And what he said is that BlackRock is on pace to be number 1 by late next year. Think about if that prediction comes true, that BlackRock could be the number 1 holder of everyone, by the end of next year. So you're going to tell me that between now and December 2025, BlackRock could add another 800,000 Bitcoin? What? Yes. Yes. Eric, this is the kind of bull posting around here for, man. Let's go. Let's go. Andrew here sharing throughout this week, more and more high-profile 13Fs will be disclosed. These are public company holding disclosure things. Here's what to expect. No high-profile funds reduce their Bitcoin ETF exposure. All of them continue to buy the dips. And we have whispers of 2 sovereign wealth funds entering the fray. Now, that's very interesting because the sovereign wealth fund money is trillions globally. Qatar's got $500 million. Norway's got 1.5 or $500 billion. Qatar's got $500 billion. Norway's got 1.5 trillion. Singapore's $1 trillion or something like that. And there's lots of other big sovereign wealth funds out there as well. Basically, these sovereign wealth funds just suck up gigantic amounts of assets. So who's buying? That's the interesting question. We know Singapore was buying grayscale Bitcoin back in the day. Qatar has long been rumored to be buying Bitcoin. Who else? Is the Norwegians now? The Saudis? The Emiratis? We know the Emirates and Oman are both mining Bitcoin. just think about the craziness, the state level acceptance these days of Bitcoin as a major asset class. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And of course, don't forget Morgan Stanley's 15,000 sales team is going to start pitching Bitcoin to all of their customers. Watch out for that. This is an interesting one here for you as well. Think about this. If Eric is correct and you see BlackRock become the #1 global holder of Bitcoin with over 1.1 million coins, bigger than even Satoshi, that's when this plays out, right? Is it right over here? This plays out. Look at this. This is the gold spot ETF post-launch. So within the months post-launch, there was some price volatility for about 6 months, actually, until it really started to grind into the reality of supply. And price went up. Bada bing, bada boom. Is that what's going to happen this time? Don't know. A lot of outstanding economic worries, but it almost feels like the consensus play now that this terrible recession is going to come and we're going to have an early cycle, et cetera, et cetera. And it's almost contrarian to say, yeah, recession is going to come, but not till way later, like 2026. 2025 is going to be the golden bull run year, 4-year cycle, as per usual. Don't fade it. Maybe. Anyway, this be long-term crazy of these ETFs and the reality of them sucking up huge amounts of supply. Hey, real quick, let's do a shout out to today's sponsor, which is Polka Dot. So big promotions going on over the Polka Dot ecosystem right now. So if you are feeling thirsty, Hydration Net, these cats right here, they are giving away $1 million. $1 million. Yes, that is right. That is absolutely massive. So what is hydration? How can you claim your piece of the pie? So hydration is the main liquidity protocol over on Polka Dot right now. Okay. They want to make DeFi simple. They want to make it efficient, single-sided LPs. So you can just bring your DOT tokens over and start earning just on your DOT. Auto trades, limit orders, all that kind of stuff. Omni pools, enhancing liquidity, minimizing slippage. Even BYOG, bring your own gas. So you can pay for gas fees in any token. So how to get involved? You will find a link to this tweet in the description down below. Go check it out. Go over to the Hydration app and you can start trading. You can start providing liquidity. Get yourself positioned for that $1 million incentive program. That's a lot of coins, man. It's $5 million worth of value at current prices. You can provide a single-sided LP with tokens like a star or Moonbeam's Glimmer token and then earn. So pretty cool. Go check that out. And if you are a Polka Dot user, you want to find some cool DeFi products, might be for you. Thanks again to the guys over at Polka Dot for sponsoring today's video. So, price of Bitcoin today. YouTube Tim says, recession priced in already. Go look at materials, stocks, automotive stocks, etc. It's interesting. Now, price of Bitcoin right now. It's very interesting things are happening currently. Remember what we were saying the other day, that what you want to see as some kind of confirmation that perhaps the markets are back. And this is where we talk about this critical level. I know we got the big buyers, we got BlackRock, all this crazy stuff, MicroStrategy's buying another 2 billion, Marathon's buying 250 million, Metaplanet bought like another 5 million. Your mom bought $5. I mean, come on. People are buying Bitcoin out here. Okay, guys. But here's the interesting thing right now with charts. After this massive sell-off last week, look where we are right now. We are days away potentially. And look, let's confirm before we get too excited here, but just this direction we're heading in right now. After an initial bounce over the 200-day EMA, we did cross back down under it briefly. Currently fighting to maintain it. Then, right here, potentially getting a MACD bull cross. So let's watch out for that. That could set us up for a new run, at least back up to challenge 72K. Can we get it beyond 72K? Finally, well, let's see. But that is an interesting bit of confluence there that we'll keep an eye on, that MACD cross and the 200-day EMA cross, both very interesting lines in the sand for the price of Bitcoin. So we'll keep an eye on that. Mickey Bull saying the next target for the Wave 5 expansion will be first $95,000 and then $142,000. So depending on how you draw the fib lines here, approximately you end up with $100,000 as the next major target, about $150,000 the next major target beyond that. 95, 142. We're cutting hairs here, right? So that is very interesting. That is very interesting. If macro markets don't melt down, if World War III doesn't start, if the yield curve uninverting doesn't immediately signal recession, if the Fed cuts rates without crashing the economy at the same time, if CPI data stays down, we got more ifs. Holy crap. Can't we just think about the price of Bitcoin without having to think about let's hope the Japanese stock markets are doing well today, guys. Jeez Louise. Anyway, Charles Edwards here, a great chart might find interesting. As a rule of thumb, macro Bitcoin trends often are lagged behind gold by a few months. That's very interesting because right now, what has happened with the gold? My gold bags, by the way, man, let's go. Let's go. My gold's actually been doing pretty damn well this year. Great. I think I bought the majority of my gold probably around, I can't even remember, probably like 1,800 bucks, something like that. So yay, we're like 30-40% profit. Fantastic. Gold, the old paradigm of money. Anyway, we're making jokes here, guys, but it'd be very interesting if we do see Bitcoin following behind that. If gold is the canary in the coal mine and it's the leading indicator to an extent for digital gold, which is Bitcoin, I'll be watching carefully. Definitely interesting to think about, though. Price of Ethereum, we did have a nice little pump today on Ethereum from 25 up to 2,700 bucks. Ethereum still well below the 200-day simple moving average, or sorry, exponential. These are not simple moving average. I like to use exponentials. Still below the 200-day EMA. That's the blue line on the chart right here. We are getting a death cross even on today's rally for the 50-day EMA sliding under the 200-day EMA. See how that plays out. Spencer, what's up? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. And here we go down here. Let's just put this one up on top and expand that out a little bit. Look at that. Not confirmed. Not confirmed. Okay. But getting damn close to a MACD bull cross. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see if it can pick up some steam here. Okay. I'd love to see it. You would too. The ETH rally is going to be so hated when it comes in. There's been so much just shit talking on Ethereum recently, and for good reason. The price action's been pretty crap. I mean, look how far below the 200-day EMA we are. That's gross. Bitcoin doing just fine right there on it, man. Solana actually had a massive breakout, came all the way back down to retest it, and is currently bouncing off of it. Let's see if it can maintain the momentum, of course, but just, food for thought, considering where Ethereum is right now. Okay. Rather Be Sailing says, what is a MACD bull cross? MACD bull cross is this. So that is when the blue line crosses back over the orange line here. Okay. And then we start heading back up on the MACD. Now, let's just take a look at what happened the last time we had such a crossover, just to give you an example here. So last time we had a crossover for the bull cross on the MACD was back here around $3,000 Ethereum. That was followed by a rally up to $3,600. So not the most powerful rally in the world, but a rally nevertheless. You can go back and look at the one before that. Price of Ethereum was around $2,900 and it rallied up to almost $4,000. Yeah, $3,979, just under 4K. So that's the kind of repeat that we're hoping for here. But markets are a bit fragile at the moment. So be careful, right? Careful for fake outs. The death cross, now the MACD bull cross. Kane, we like to throw out the death cross on there, but death crosses are historically quite let's say, I don't want to call them completely inaccurate, but you got about a 50-50 on whether it's going to be bullish or bearish, to be honest. If you think it's the end of the cycle and the bear market is coming, then yeah, the death cross is probably confirmation of that. If you think we're just in a major period of volatility, then the death cross ends up being a bit of a nothing burger. So I'm not the biggest, we talk about it because we talk about stuff here, right? But I'm not the biggest proponent of watching the death crosses because that can just easily be faked out. I mean, a couple points of price action to the upside here for Ethereum, and that gets canceled out as a fake out, okay? The flip side is that a couple points to the downside, and we cancel out that potential MACD bull cross. Potential, not confirmed. Keep repeating that because it's important to keep in mind, right? You want to see that MACD bull cross confirm, and ideally a cross back over the 200-day EMA, the blue line on the chart here, but that might be a little while for Ethereum still. So we're watching those things. Grayscale's ETH ETF has already seen 27% of Ethereum leave since converting into an ETF. That's about 2 times as fast as it took the Grayscale Bitcoin to lose that amount. I think it's safe to assume we'll roughly follow the same route, but a bit faster. Great. This is fantastic news. I'm so happy that Grayscale Bitcoin has been just dumping or Grayscale Ethereum has been dumping like mad. Fantastic. Almost up to a third of it gone. Great. There's going to be a lot of money that just stays in because they don't have anywhere better to go. They don't want to take the capital gains hit. They'd rather run the rest of the cycle and then sell higher. And okay, 1.5% management fees, lame, but better than taking the capital gains tax hit now. Okay. ETH is literally running the exact same playbook as the Bitcoin ETF, but you still won't buy any. It's already bottomed 12 days after the launch, exactly like BTC. I mean, it's an interesting thought because we had, of course, wider macro conditions that really brought the prices down, but ETH was looking weak before that because of the Grayscale outflows. Bitcoin doubled in price 2 months after that. ETH to 5K within 2 months, says this dude. Interesting. I'll take it. That's kind of bold posting again. We'll love to hear that. Let's see. Now, altcoin news, then we'll get into your questions. So this is interesting. Marty Party posted this. This is daily active blockchain users August 11th. Now, obviously, this is to throw shade at Cardano. This excludes a lot of major blockchains here, okay? There's a lot of other names that we could and should see up here. Where's Tron? Where's Avalanche? Polka Dot, etc. Right? Because those have huge daily numbers of active users right now. Polka Dot's picked up a lot of users from Mythos games launching on there. We see Avalanche picking up a lot of steam, a lot of hype now with Off the Grid launching soon. Tron just continues to be one of the most used blockchains in the world, especially for stablecoin transfers in developing regions like Argentina and Nigeria and places like this. USDT on Tron is like the preferred way of doing business. No wonder why Justin Sun's so rich. He solved problems for people. He was one of the first blockchains to give people basically sub-penny transactions for stablecoins at scale. Genius. Justin Sun, man, love him or hate him. The dude knows how to make money. Holy cow. Anyway, it's interesting. Solana, 1.6 million transactions. BNB, 746. Base just slaying it, man. Absolutely awesome here. Look at this. Telegram Open Network, 403,000. Kind of fewer than I'd expect considering the popularity of some of those mini games like Hamster Combat and stuff like that, but maybe that's not all settling in the chain. Not exactly sure about all the details of how that works. Sweat, 346,000. A lot of hype now as we run into the massive unlocks coming soon. It's a curious time for all this hype, isn't it? Anyway, something to keep in mind if you're chasing that currently. Arbitrum, 344. Great. Ethereum, 321,000. Yeah, it's actually been cheap enough to use Ethereum recently-ish. Aptos, 98,000. Cardano, 20,000. Cardano, what's going on? Somebody check Cardano's pulse. You okay out there, Cardano holders? What's going on, man? That's crazy. crazy, man. No, but seriously, that's crazy. What's going on? Cardano, we need to see some uptick in apps and stuff happening. Adam, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Solana decentralized exchange trading volume falls as Ethereum and Base see increased activity. I mean, short term, you see lots of this kind of stuff happening. We look at the long-term trend for Solana, and we've seen that going up in terms of decentralized exchange trading volume. But Base, definitely the one to not fade, 100%. I've got huge investments across Base. A large percentage of my total portfolio is in Base. That's in Brett. That's in Aerodrome Finance, Mr. Miggles, Benji, all that kind of stuff. So I think the Base season narrative is going to be real, or I'm going to have some egg on my face and lose a bunch of money. Won't be the first time, will it? Nope. Hey, shout out to Mr. Miggles for giving me a shout out, for giving them a shout out. There you go. It's quite funny. I have no association with the Mr. Miggles team. I just bought some on Uniswap or whatever, and that's it. I've been holding some, but thanks guys for the shout out here. But yeah, anyway, definitely not the world's biggest cat fan, but it'll be interesting to see how some of these memes like Miggles or Benji end up playing out. Really, Brett's the only really big meme right now on Base. And considering all the fundamentals behind Base, the massive growth in daily active users, builders, all this kind of stuff, all these crazy metrics happening on Base, I think that Miggles and Benji, and I'm a marketing ambassador for Benji, by the way, full portfolio disclosures to see what coins I hold, all my other stuff down below in the description, pin comment on X. Obviously, investing in crypto is risky too. You can lose all your money. There's also a risk statement there, so go read that. But something like Miggles and Benji, very low market cap meme coins right now. Big upside potential. Worst that happens, they go to zero. Whatever. I risked, a tiny percentage of my total portfolio. So not a big deal. Phantom posting this. Last week's top tokens. Dog with hat. Unsurprisingly, everybody loves putting the hat on the dog. Pop cat. Very popular cat at the moment. Cat dog. I was actually thinking about this in the shower a few weeks before somebody launched cat dog. Somebody should do a cat dog token. That'd be hilarious. Oh, there we go. Smoking chicken fish. Yes. Smoking chicken fish, man. Yeah, number 4. Let's go. Love to see it. What in it? Yes. Smoking chicken fish twerking. There we go. I got to give it to the guys at Smoking Chicken Fish. It's one of the few memes that I actually have laughed at. A lot of these meme coins are cool or whatever and fine, and you're just building communities around ideas and whatever. But I swear, Smoking Chicken Fish is one of the few that I actually have frequently laughed at. So, shout out to the Smoking Chicken Fish guys for actually making some funny memes. Of course, I own Smoking Chicken Fish too, guys. But yeah, pretty cool. Smoking Chicken Fish, man. I tell you. Hey, real quick, before we dive into your questions, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, you got to check out Bybit. They got a crazy promotion going on right now. Use that link down below in the description. You can get 2 things. 1, a free $500 US trade. That could be for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pepe, some other coins as well. Free trade after you deposit $100 or more. And you'll also get 3 free spins for up to 100K in prizes. Funded trading accounts, F1 tickets, all kinds of cool stuff like that. Even just $10 at free airdrop. That's cool too. So check it out if you're a trader. Link in the description. Thank you very much. So with all that stuff being said, let's talk crypto. Let's finish my coffee first. My ice cold. I like cold coffee, actually. Hot coffee. Just I wait for it to cool down. Let's finish that. Crack this bad boy open. What are we talking about today? Make sure you're holding cock in the broth. Yep. Good old Avalanche meme coins, man. Hey, Lark, 2-parter for you. How long is a typical bull run supposed to be? And if everyone keeps buying, where's the pump? Yeah, well, that's a good question. We've definitely seen huge amounts of coins moving hands. And we've had huge supply introductions over the past few months. So a lot of that stuff has kind of shaken the markets a little bit. Altcoins in particular have suffered during this time. So that kind of answers the second part of the question. But you can only do that for so long before the market catches up with the supply realities and prices start moving. For a typical bull run, how long is it supposed to be? Look, your typical bull run, I saw somebody post about this the other day. Basically, you see the market bottom about 500 days before the Bitcoin halving and top about 500 days after the Bitcoin halving. The wild card here could be an extended US recession, would probably break that modeling. Remember, as much as we like to talk about crypto living in its own sort of little ecosystem bubble here, we are very much beholden to the wider risk attitudes happening in the macro markets. So if stock markets go to shit, very slim chance that crypto's magically going to moon at the same time. Because if the stock markets go to shit, it means that everybody's going risk off. They're selling their risk assets and they're going into bonds or whatever during that time. But in theory, the market top for the crypto markets should probably be like October, November 2025. But could be sooner. I know some people are in the camp that the top's already in. March this year was it. It's over. We're going down from here. New bear market, pulling a hair, gnashing of teeth. All the bad stuff's coming. I'm not in that camp. I am becoming increasingly aware of the potential of a U.S. recession derailing things, but there's so many conflicting signals. You have the yield curve uninverting, but then you have other stuff happening, like jobs markets are still pretty resilient enough anyway. People are worried it's going in the wrong direction. That's a valid concern, but 4.3% unemployment's not bad and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think on the next big market pump, like if we get the big pump later this year from wherever we are now to like $95,000, $100,000 Bitcoin, I'm going to take some more money off the table just to help myself sleep at night a bit more, to be honest. You know, when the altcoins and stuff, not the Bitcoin, but the altcoins, right? Bitcoin, I don't care. The altcoins, I think we'll just draw some money down a bit harder than I was planning on, perhaps, instead of trying to hold everything, being so all in all the time, to hold everything until the absolute maximum peak of the market. I'm going to take some more money off the table, I think, just to deal with a few different things, have a bigger cash position for more flexibility in my portfolio, et cetera, stuff like that. That's the general thought at the moment. Of course, I'll keep you guys up to date here all the time, obviously. Lark, if Bitcoin goes $125,000, linked to 140, what could MicroStrategy and Coinbase stock hit? MicroStrategy, I'm not sure. I don't look at their stock enough. Coinbase, though, in that scenario, if Bitcoin's only $125,000, it's kind of right between the two major fib lines. It's either going to go into 100 or 150K would be my guess. Let's say 150K as an example. So that's 200% gains from here approximately. Coinbase probably going to go to 800 to $1,000 in that scenario. I would not be surprised. Anyway, just, numbers I'm pulling out of my butt here without thinking too hard about it. Did Elon and Trump talk about crypto? I'd not listened to them, but I think Sue did. Sue's saying no crypto talk. Sue, I like the new profile picture. Looks good. Where are we up to? Where do you see a price point to take profits on Aerodrome Finance on base? I would like to get a decent portion of my stack out at $5. That could easily eventuate if we get a Bitcoin to $95,000, $100,000 price point later this year. We shall see. But yeah, I'd be pretty happy to get a good portion of it out at $5 and keep my sort of main engine that I have going there that's creating sort of daily arrow rewards from the liquidity pool. Lark, do you stake your Jupe? Could you show how? Thanks in advance. So go to it's super easy. I'll tell you the website here real quick. Oh, that's not the one. Hold on. So you just need to go to the Jupiter website. can probably just pull this up here. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Governance. Yep. Okay, there we go. Let's pull it up there for you so you can see it. So you want to go to the website vote. Oh, it's under the thing here. I'll read it out for you. It's under my newsletter promo thing up there. Vote, VOTE .jup, JUP .ag. Super easy. Okay. And then you just come over here and just stake your coins. This is pretty easy. Connect your wallet, stake them. 30-day unlock period. Okay. So just keep that in mind, but it's pretty easy to do. And then most importantly, you have to show up and vote. You have to vote. If you don't vote, you're not getting in for the vote incentive rewards or the airdrops that come from that. So you have to vote. Okay. When it's officially launched, do you think that Bear Chain will be successful, and are you going to sell your airdrop? I think it'll be successful enough anyway. Will I sell my airdrop? Yeah, if the recent airdrops are proven, like, holy crap, man, they just go down so bad. Lark, can you do a Stewie impression from Family Guy? I'm not that great at doing impressions. Do you think Render still has a bright future? I think that decentralized GPU networks are a great idea, a great use of crypto technology, a great idea for decentralized physical infrastructure networks, and they're a leading player. So let's see. If we have broadly positive market conditions for crypto, something like Render can probably really shine. I don't have a bag, but that's just my sort of sentiment on it as someone who's researched it before and has kind of kept an eye on what they're doing. Lark, do you think Benji will get more CEX listings? Probably, just a matter of time. I think it's one of those ones that has a good potential for an eventual Coinbase listing. Them and Miggles, probably. That's probably the point to take profit, especially if that happens when markets are pumping. Democrats are becoming pro-crypto. What do you think? I don't trust it. I mean, I don't really trust any politician. Let's keep that plain and simple. But I feel like there's enough money behind Trump that he'll probably actually enact some of the things that he's saying that he's going to enact. In terms of the Democrats becoming pro-crypto, I mean, these guys are literally still, Kamala would have a lot of, let's say, influence on things right now. I know she's not the current president. She's the vice president, though, and she's the nominee for president. If she actually ever was brave enough to do an interview, which apparently she hasn't been, but if she was to actually come out and say, hey, you know what, Gary Gensler, here's the deal. You need to stop all the crypto stuff. I'm calling on Gary Gensler. He doesn't have the authority to force him to stop, I don't think, as vice president. But she can come out and say, I'm calling on Gary Gensler to stop all crypto enforcement acts until my administration takes over. And then we're going to have a sit down and a rethink of our approach towards crypto more broadly as a country. And I don't want to make any mistakes between now and then. Something like that would carry a lot of weight. It would carry a lot of weight. But instead, last week, what happens? The SEC is going after 3 crypto VCs. Well, we don't know who they are, but probably some of the top ones in the space. There you go. Operation Choke Point 2.0 still going on. They actually had a meeting, Democrats for crypto or something meeting hosted by Ro Khanna, I think, which is funny. Ro Khanna was actually my DMs. Shout out to Ro Khanna. He was in my DMs the other week being like, hey, do you want to host me for a space? I'm like, I'm not really doing spaces right now, but it's cool that, you're actually, he was the only Democrat going to Bitcoin Nashville. So, fair play to him for actually being one of the Democrats who seems to really actually care about the cryptocurrency industry and has been very pro-crypto for years and holds cryptocurrencies himself. So, it's not all bad, right? It's just party politics. But everything I've seen so far, not looking super awesome. Anyway, at this Democrats for crypto thing where they're trying to have this like crypto industry reset. They were asking industry leaders like, hey, who has had problems with banking? And every crypto industry leader in the room raised their hands because Operation Choke Point 2.0 is real. And that's a Biden administration policy to go after the banking infrastructure to debank crypto. Lark, I saw in your newsletter the Jupe tokens are getting reduced. Yeah, so there's they did a this is a vote. This is a vote, and I voted yes for that because I think it's a great idea. They're reducing the total amount of Jupe supply by 30%. So it's getting kind of cut from everywhere. The airdrops might be a little bit smaller, and the team tokens be smaller, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's, I think, an overall positive thing that adds a lot of potential value by burning a third of the damn tokens. So pretty cool. Lark, please buy some Solana already. I know, I should, especially the current prices. It is looking juicy. It's looking juicy. I hear you talking about Brett often. Do you think it's too late to buy in? I don't think it's too late to buy into Brett personally, not financial advice. I think it's got great potential as being like the leading meme on base right now. How high can it go? I have no idea, but certainly it has captured a lot of interest and mind share and popularity and hype and all that kind of stuff. So at the current price of 9 cents or something like that, certainly not the cheapest meme in the world at a $900 million or whatever market cap right now. But if it can go to 10 billion, not bad, right? Not bad. We'll do some more here and there, guys, and we'll finish up for today. Do you have any thoughts on the ICO ETH wallet transferring to an exchange? I can't believe the dude. So some guy bought 1 million Ethereum for $31,000 back at the Ethereum ICO. It's worth $300 million or something right now. He's been transferring money out. I'm just blown away he's held that much for this long. I mean, my goodness. Guys, if I had $300 million worth of Ethereum, why is he not sold more sooner? It's crazy, man. Anyway, dude is 100% in his, go sell some coins, man. Have a good life. Sell tens of millions. Enjoy yourself. Lark, are you spooked about Wednesday and the CPI data? Too high readings, tough to cut rates, too low, looming recession. What are your thoughts? Well, as mentioned before, the expectation is that there's no change month to month. 3% is going to stay. That's probably relatively a wash for the market. If we come in hotter at 3.1%, it'll be really depend on the details, what went up, right? But probably not awesome, to be honest. If we go up to 3.1%, market's probably not going to like that. We'll at least see a short-term sell-off in my estimation based on that. And of course, then it puts a lot of pressure on the Fed because they can come back in September and say, yeah, I know you guys want us to cut rates, but look, inflation's going back up. And of course, the problem is between now and the Fed meeting in September, we have one more CPI print. So if it goes up 3.1 now and then 3.2 in September, yeah, causes problems. Maybe we get a smaller rate cut. I know a lot of people are hoping for a 50 basis point rate cut. The market definitely needs some relief right now. And rate cuts are what's going to bring that relief in and help. There's a very, very small and quickly closing window for the Fed to pull off some kind of soft landing scenario without causing total catastrophe to the US and therefore the global markets. Can they do it? Wait and see. And if that comes in, by the way, at 2.9%, I think that's a very positive thing. Markets are going to like that. Okay. Too much of a variation on either side of that 3% mark could freak markets out as well. So that's my opinion on it. We'll, of course, keep an eye out for how things play out on the day. Dave says, hopefully CPI stays the same. Lower is great, but as long as it's not higher than 3, we'll probably get a rate cut in September. Yep. Oh, we need those rate cuts, man. Come on, Papa Pal. Let's do it. Let's do it. Peace talks scheduled for Thursday. wonder what that is. Is that for Iran stuff, or is that like for Ukraine stuff? Any peace talks are good. We love all peace talks around here, okay? Lark, do you think helium can make a comeback this run? I think DPIN's got a great potential. We covered the big helium news yesterday. They're working with two big U.S. carriers. I mean, that's great news. I'm not totally into all the tokenomics and stuff of what helium's doing, so I can't comment from that perspective. I just look at the technology and what's being built. I think it's really cool. It's really great to see crypto going mainstream, working with big U.S. telcos and stuff like that. So that's fantastic. I'm pretty sure we've got a report on helium in the Wealth Mastery newsletter report. So it might be like a year old or something now. But I remember reading that report and going, well, that's interesting. Pretty sure we had that. Or the Hive Mapper. Pretty sure it's helium. Anyway, you guys can go check that out over on the website, thewealthmastery.io. Peace and chicken grease. Smoking chicken fish, man. When will TradFi crypto market decoupling happen? Will it ever happen? I almost feel like the opposite's happening right now. We're becoming more and more entrenched with TradFi markets. I mean, look what we just talked about. If Eric Balkunas is right, then in the next 18 months, BlackRock could be the biggest holder of Bitcoin. I was thinking about this earlier. BlackRock's not buying Bitcoin. BlackRock is doing a land grab. Think of it like that. It's a land grab, man. They are staking their flag, and they are grabbing real estate here. And once it goes into that black hole, most of it's not coming back out, which is crazy to think about the implications of that. BlackRock has basically built themselves an infinite money machine. Here we go. Jesse's saying the helium altcoin review that we had, years old now, need to do an update. Hive map report. Quick note, we can go back and re-review some old stuff. Where are they now? We should do like a monthly Where Are They Now series. That could be pretty good for updating on some of the coins that are still around. How many coins we reviewed over time that just don't make the distance. But it'd be pretty cool to go back and like revisit helium. Where are they now? What are they doing? Let's bookmark that in. Okay. Have you heard anything about IOTA making moves in the Islamic world right now, of all things? Oh, gosh, I have not paid attention to IOTA for years. The only thing I remember about IOTA is how utterly horrific their wallet was. The worst wallet you could possibly imagine. Unbelievable. Anyway, I have not looked at IOTA in years. I've thought about IOTA literally in years. Lark, do you think the new ledger stack's a good option for cold storage? Yes. We got mine here. I've not actually hooked it up yet. I got it in the mail last week, and I was like, I've not had time to hook that up yet, but it's on my list of things to do. Hook it up, play with it, have a good time with it. But yeah, I'm still a fan of Ledger products. All my cold wallets are basically Ledger products at the moment. But I'm always open to other things. I've got the Grid Plus sitting over here. Haven't had a chance to just, I don't know what it is for me. I get new wallets. I'm just like, do I really want to screw around and put my phrase in like a nerd, and all that crap? What's the best normie-friendly hardware wallet? I mean, gosh, there's a lot of good ones out there. And look, guys, if you want to use, I know some people don't like Ledger because there was like some data hack back in the day and people's information got released on that. Sucks. It's not their fault, but still sucks. But I found the wallets to be very user-friendly. I've kept using them. Maybe I'm just getting lazy. I don't know, but I quite like their wallets personally. I use Tangent Wallet. It's great. We actually had an inbound request from those guys the other day to do some sponsorship stuff. Be curious to see if we do that, if I can get one of their wallets and have a little play with it. Just got to actually get it set up and use it. That's always the trick for me. Cardano wallet's the worst. Took 6 months to download the blocks. By the time it did, there were more blocks. Oh my gosh, yeah. When you had the dataless wallet, goodness gracious, that thing. There's a light wallet. It's the Yoroi wallet, YOROI wallet. That doesn't have to do that. But the dataless wallet, what a monstrosity of a wallet, man. Goodness gracious. Every time I had to do anything with it, it was just like, haven't had Cardano in a while. I sold my Cardano back in 21. So I haven't had to go through that process for a while, but I remember it not being a lot of fun. It's probably only crazier now that you have all this, well, I guess not that much stuff happening with 20,000 daily active users, but stuff happening on Cardano. No shade to Cardano, guys. I want your bags to pump and everybody to make money, okay? Lark, do you still have your Neon Hero NFTs? I do. What are your thoughts on Arthur's new essay? I haven't read it, and I skimmed through it. It's pretty hilarious. There was one line. It was like it was a bad girl yelling has made Jerome Powell her like beta cuck bitch or something like that. It's like, Arthur, this is the kind of writing that I open these newsletters for. This is fantastic. If you guys aren't signed up to Arthur Hayes, he's the CEO of BitMEX updates. He has some pretty cool macro takes, pretty nuanced ideas. So go check that out. Do you need a wallet if you securely save your 12 words? So let's say you have them in your head or wherever you've saved them. You still need an interface, right? Hardware wallets are much safer than just hot software wallets. Software wallets have a much higher chance of getting some kind of exploit to happen in them, then all your money's gone. So at least with a hardware wallet, you're a lot safer, right? You actually have the physical device in order to approve transactions. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. And whether you have your 12-word phrase saved somewhere safe or not, you still have to keep in mind that you need an interface, which means you have to have a wallet set up somewhere to do that with. So there you go. All right, guys, we're going to finish up there for today. You're awesome. I love you. Thanks so much for joining the stream, and I'll see you next time. And of course, remember, hydrate. See you next time.